Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dreamleapers Inspiration. I'm your host, Harriet Cole. So honored to be here with you today. Hope you are doing really, really well. Can you believe that we are closing in on the end of this year? I was thinking about that just this weekend, how close we are. We were planning some dates for folks to get together who are coming from all different parts of the country. And in making a plan for December, we realized, ooh, December is almost here. December, really, it's when we come back from Labor Day, when summer is sort of unofficially over, but when there's a pivot back to school, back to work, back to super focus on the outside world, the things that we do for work, the things that we do when we're engaging others, that focus seems to ramp up come September. And then it's a blink until it's the end of the year. So as I've been thinking about the end of the year and moving into next year, I thought this was something that we might want to explore together. What did you have on your list of things to do when you started this year? Did you write it down? Did you make a plan, even if it was a plan in your head only? Did you make a plan for what you thought you were going to do moving into the new year? And if you did, what was on that list? Think back for a moment. What did you put on your list for things that you committed to yourself? I'm going to do this year. And then I want to ask you, if you can recall, what did you put on your list? I'm going to do this for myself, for my family, for my community, for my home, whatever it might be. What did you put on that list, if you can recall? And then did you do it? Did you do any of the things that were on your list? And this is not a beat yourself up moment. This is a moment to contemplate. What did I put on my list? What did I work on that was on my list? What did I accomplish that was on my list? And what did I not? These are good questions to answer as we close in on the end of the year, but we're not quite there yet. Why? Because every day you wake up, you have an opportunity to take a step toward completing something that's on your list. Every single day we have that opportunity to, what did I focus on today, to get it done? And by the way, we have created space in Dreamleapers Inspiration now. If you would like to be part of this conversation on or off camera, but you'd like to talk so we could hear your voice, you can go over to harrietcole.com/inspiration and sign up there, and it'll bring you into into backstage here at Dreamleapers Inspiration, and you can participate in the conversation. If not, you can just be connected the way that we are already, but we have created that opportunity. If you'd like to participate, to speak, to possibly be seen and also speak, go to harrietcole.com/inspiration, and we can bring you on to chat with us. Anyhow, so this idea of getting it done is something that I think is important for us to contemplate. Why? Because many people that are connected to me are like me in a particular way. Big dreamers, big thoughts. Oh, I'm going to get this done. I'm going to accomplish this. I've got this great idea and I think it's worth it. How many great ideas have you had this year? Just looking at this one year. How many great ideas would you say you have had in this one year? Hmm? How about if you write that in the chat box? Put a number. How many great ideas do you think you've had this year? I'm going to say for me, and I'm taking a moment because I did an exercise which I shared with you earlier this year, and where I really focused on finding 3 great ideas that I could execute within 100 days. And by the way, I did that and it worked. So there were those 3, but then I'm going to say I had about 5 big ideas for this year. And I want to share with you that 4 of them I absolutely accomplished, which is amazing. And why did I accomplish them? Because I put forth the effort. I didn't just say it out loud. Well, saying it out loud is important. So let's start with I didn't just say it in my head only. Oh, this is my dream. I woke up in the night and I had this dream, which I have those dreams. It's not enough to just wake up in the night with this, aha, I have to do this. That's when I say write it down, then say it out loud, articulate it, tell somebody. You tell a loved one, tell someone you trust. You don't want to just throw your ideas out to everybody, but tell someone you trust. Say it out loud. When you articulate it, it makes it more real. And then make a plan. Because usually these dreams that we have, if you are an ideas person, which many of us are, the dream could be so big that it isn't necessarily concrete. It's an idea. How do you concretize the idea so that it's something that can manifest? I believe you do that by figuring out tiny steps that get to that big goal. In fact, I believe that you should break down the big goal into chunks and then beyond those chunks, break those down into tiny ideas because we get energy when we accomplish things. And I believe that if you give yourself a small enough task so that you actually can accomplish it, it's not so big that it's like, oh, how am I ever going to get to that? Then you can make it happen. And that's something that I've been doing, and it has worked. I think that if you plan on moving past any procrastination that you might have, any excuses you might have that perhaps you've got 30 things on your list of things to do. How are you ever going to get to that one? That dream is over here. And do you dare give yourself permission to work on the dream when you have all these other things on your list? Well, if you don't, it will never happen. It takes extra energy, extra focus to work on something that's beyond the scope of your everyday. And for most of us, the everyday is chock full of responsibilities and activities and things that you absolutely must get done. So I'm not saying to you, don't do those things. Absolutely not. What I'm saying is make space that you commit to using to further your dreams so that you are going beyond. This is a great idea. Wow, I'd love to do this. Oh, wow, that woke me up with such energy and enthusiasm. I want to make this happen. And then it sort of withers because you don't pay attention to it. Or you write it down, you pay attention to it, first quarter of the year. Oh, yeah, I'm going to do that. And then you get distracted by something else. And that sits on the wayside until, oops, it's almost the end of the year. Like right now, oh, I had that thing on my list and I didn't do it. Well, guess what? It's not the end of the year yet. If there's something from that list that is worth working on now, do it. Go for it. Get it done. So there's a quote that I found that I think is really inspiring, and it's from someone who has been an incredibly successful business person who did what he's telling us to do, about getting it done. He is Ken Chenault. He used to run American Express, a brilliant business leader. And he said, many people don't focus enough on execution. If you make a commitment to get something done, you need to follow through on that commitment. Now, this is obvious, yet how often do we do it? Think about this. He says, many people, are you part of many people? Many people don't focus enough on execution, on the doing of it, on making it happen, on getting it done. He says, if you make a commitment to get something done, you say, I'm going to do this. This is my word. I'm telling myself, I'm telling my boss, I'm telling my family, I'm telling my board, whatever entity you have told, including yourself, especially yourself, if you make a commitment to get something done, you need to follow through on that commitment, right? Now, this brings up so many things because a lot of times we say yes when we actually know that we don't have time to do something. Have you been that person where you just don't want to say no? You care about someone. You don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. You want to be the person who says yes to everything. Have you ever said yes when you know good and well there's not enough time in the day for you to complete something? And so then you don't follow through on that commitment that you may have thought, oh, I just said yes in the moment to be nice. But whoever you said yes to is expecting you to come through. I've had this experience twice with people I know who I really care about. One who was pretty close to me and my husband, and it was at an incredibly busy time. And I agreed to read and really informally edit his book manuscript. I knew I didn't have time to do this, but I didn't want to say no. And you can tell I didn't do it. I did not read the manuscript. I did not get back to him. The worst of it is I forgot. I totally forgot that I had said that I was going to do this. It just, I was busy and it slipped my mind. I do not feel good about this. I remember it to this day. This person has passed on for a good 10, 15 years. He's been gone for a long time. I still hold it. I still remember. And why it even came to my awareness because, I told you I forgot. I saw him one day and he was distant. And this is a person who would give the biggest, warmest hugs and just a really loving, generous person. And that wasn't the energy I was getting from him that day. And so I asked him what was wrong. And he said, you haven't noticed that I've been a little distant from you? And I said, at first, honestly, I hadn't because I was just being busy doing, checking off the list. And this person lived and operated at a much slower pace than I. So I mean, I don't feel good about this, but I'm telling it to you because it may have happened to you. I really wasn't paying attention. And he said, the reason that I've been distant is because you promised that you would do something for me. You didn't do it. You didn't tell me, I am so sorry. I'm too busy. You didn't say anything. And that really hurt my feelings. I thought we were better friends than that. I remember it to this day. Like I said to you, this man has been gone probably about 15 years. And this happened many years before that. We remember, others remember when we do not fulfill what we have committed to do. It can be heartbreaking. There is a little space in my heart today that hurts because I didn't do that. It would have been much better for me to say, I love you and I know I can't do this now. So I'm going to say no. I'm sorry I can't. Or, as he said to me, when you figured out you couldn't do it, come back to me and say, I'm so sorry. I'm not going to be able to do this. Follow up, honor your commitments. How often do we not do that? Ken Chenault said you must focus on execution, and many people do not do that. I am here to tell you, I am a driven person. I am driven toward accomplishing the things that I put on that list. I'm driven toward helping people, connecting the dots so that I can help uplift others. That is part of the brand of me. It is who I am. It is what I do. It is how I live. And like probably everybody else, I'm not good at what I say I'm good at all the time. And that was an example where I wasn't good at all. And I hurt someone deeply, someone I care about. Now, this can happen even if it's someone that you're not close to. When you say you're going to do something, do it. When you say that you are going to manifest something, manifest it. Don't just say it because in the end, the 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 backlash, even if it's subtle, the backlash to yourself alone is something that you don't want to experience. Trust me. And so this year, when I went to an event that I've told you about, if you are a regular viewer or listener for Dreamleapers Inspiration, I was given the assignment to decide what did I want to do in the next 100 days? What are the big things I want to do in the next 100 days? Write down 3 things right in the moment the person had me doing it. So if you want to do this now, I suggest you do it. But you might even say till the end of the year, however many days that is. But 100 days is good too. I was given 100 days. 3 things that you really want to do. And then 3 things that you think stand in the way of you being able to do it. Followed by 3 things that could happen that would make it possible for you to manifest those 3 big things on your list. And the challenge was don't make those 3 things too small. Make them big. Make them count. I wrote down my 3 things. I upped the game a little bit and made 2 of them even bigger. And they were big dreams. I really put myself out there. I'm putting myself out there to myself. I did it. I put myself out there to myself and I said, let's go for it. And then I went past that and I talked to my team and I told them what these things were. And we started strategizing about how to make these things manifest, how to execute on these dreams. We agreed on what we were thinking we would do and put together a plan of execution. Why was that important? So, as a big dreamer, as one with a million ideas, as an entrepreneur attempting to get contract for this and that and really building my business, sometimes you put forth an idea and it connects. Sometimes it manifests. Sometimes there's a client who loves it. Sometimes there's not. And so and I'll say I am guilty of coming up with a million ideas and then we work really, really hard on them. And if they don't blossom, if they don't flourish in the moment, we often put them on the back burner and go to another one. And so we have a whole lot of things in this parking lot of ideas. So I am one of those people who builds on dreams and then puts them aside. So we don't want to do that too much. We want it to come up with things that we can really manifest. And so we did that. We made a banner that we look at every day with 4 strategic ways of getting us to our goals. And we see it every day so that we don't forget. If you have a big idea and you forget about it, we look at it every single day. We don't talk about it every day. Sometimes it's there sort of benignly, but it's there. So because it is there, we can look at it. So among the things I want to tell you, because I think it's worth saying out loud, I'm going to tell you 3 things for me that include the business goals and 1 personal goal that have manifested, that are manifesting. So one of the things that we said we were going to do is pitch new business. Because I've been in business for 30 years and a lot of things sort of naturally come, out and about. I do a lot of media. People know that I help people to tell their story better, that I coach people to their greatness. People know that. And so I often have folks call and say, would you help so-and-so? Could you help me do this or that? I have not been one to solicit business that much. So we decided we're going to pitch new business. And together we worked on making beautiful decks. I mean, my art director producer is a genius at making things look beautiful and bringing the ideas to life so that you can see them and envision them. You know how much I talk about being able to paint a picture with your words. Well, it's good to paint a picture with the visuals too. And she's been doing that. And it has brought us a lot of new business. We never did that before. I would just talk to people and the ideas would connect or not. And we formalized it and it ramped us up. I mean, this is really basic, but we weren't doing it. This is why I'm saying to you a very basic idea that made a huge impact almost immediately. Okay, so then another idea was I had not written a book for like 15 years, maybe more, I can't remember. I have published 7 books, but hadn't written one in a long time. And I put it out there that I was gonna get a book deal this year. Okay, for any of you all who have written books or wanna write books, you know that is a huge, giant, ambitious idea to say that you're gonna get a book deal within a year. And actually, this was supposed to be within 100 days. Right, Harriet. Well, guess what? 2 book ideas have begun to manifest within that time period, and one is a contract. I have gotten a contract for a book to execute moving forward in the next months to come when I hadn't even said it out loud really in a serious way for years. It was one of those ideas. But get it done? We put it out there. We made a book proposal. We talked to people that I've met who work in the industry, and it has happened. And there were lots of hurdles in order to get here. It wasn't like it was easy. It was a lot of effort, a lot of things we had to do in order to get to the point where this could happen. And we did it. We got it done. And from there, getting the contract is now get the book done. But I want to say to you, because I know most people I talk to say they want to write books. It is no small feat to make that happen. It happened because of relationships, because of experience, because of hard work and focus. I am telling this to you because whatever your dream is right this minute, you can get it done. You can make it happen. If you focus on execution, you already have the idea. So now what? Do it. Do not procrastinate. I also talk to a lot of people who say they admit they are big time procrastinators. If it's an important idea, if it's something that that is dear to their heart, if it's something that just is important, they often are afraid of it. Oh, well, I'll get to that later. I'll get to that later. And by the way, your big idea could be getting out of debt, could be moving, could be getting married, could be uncoupling. It could be whatever. What is it and are you gonna do it? So the third thing that I wanted to tell you that was on my list, on my personal list, that had been a struggle for me was I wanted to lose weight. And it's such an interesting thing. I've talked to a lot of women and men, but women in particular, about body image and how we perceive ourselves over time. So for those people who've known me for a long time, I was skinny for a really, really long time until I was not. The blessing of having a child was the best possible thing ever. And with that blessing came weight. And it was not the easiest thing for me to get rid of. So I had gotten to the point where I thought maybe it's too late. Maybe I just am not going to be able to lose weight. But then I recommitted this year to losing weight. And in this year, I have lost 20 pounds. I have a goal of more than that, but I wasn't losing 1 pound. It just wasn't happening. Now, in part, what was I doing in order to lose it? You have to take action. You have to put forth the effort in order to get it done. And I was doing it in fits and starts and it wasn't working. I am proud of myself. To have lost 20 pounds in about a year is an accomplishment. And I'm headed still in the right direction of where I want to be. And so and I did not use Ozempic, although, for people who do that, that's fine, but it wasn't with, chemicals. It was with effort and discipline and that I had not committed to before. And you might remember, I tore my hamstring at the end of last year and had major surgery in December. So I was recovering and then started this weight loss journey. Why am I telling you those things? It doesn't matter what happens to you. Setbacks occur. Do not let them knock you down so you can't get back up. Decide, what are you going to do? Decide that you are going to get it done, whatever is on your list that is important to you. Don't end this year without getting something done that's on your list. We have a little bit of time left in the year. What do you want to accomplish now? Make a plan now so that you get it done. Let's look at Ken Chenault's quote again. He says, many people don't focus enough on execution. Now, enough, this is important. He's not saying ever at all. Many people don't focus enough on execution. If you make a commitment to get something done, you need to follow through on that commitment. Are you listening, friends? Many people don't focus enough on execution. Don't be one of those people. If you make a commitment to get something done, you need to follow through on that commitment. So what does that mean? Write it down. What did you commit to doing? Like literally write it down right away, because it's little things and big things that can trip you up. What did you tell somebody at that event where you were last week that you were going to do? Did you say you were going to make a referral? Did you say that you were going to connect somebody to somebody else? Did you do it? Did you even remember? As I say this to you, I'm saying it to myself. We're in the social season. Figure out how to take notes so that whatever it is you commit to doing, you do it. Follow through. That was one of the things on my list with my team. Follow through is number 4 of the list of 4. Follow through. You say you're going to execute it, get it done. You decide that you're going to do something for yourself, get it done, do it. Don't let other things and other people and other situations and hardships, whatever, stand in your way. Don't let sadness or stuckness get in the way. If you feel like you need mental health support, get it. Like there are people who are depressed, who have anxiety, who have medical conditions that stop them. Don't let it stop you. Get help. Do whatever you need to do in order to get it done so you can live your life and feel full. Feel like you are doing everything that you can to take care of yourself. Everything. Because you're worth it. When you do this, it becomes easier to say no when there's something that you don't have time for, when there's something that you don't want to do, when there's something that you don't believe you will be able to accomplish effectively. No becomes a lot easier to come out of your mouth when you are clear about what you can and cannot do. You can say it kindly and clearly and then not have guilt or regret later. It works. Get it done. Make your plan. Figure out what's important to you. Figure out what's not important to you. Don't get stuck in the things that are unimportant to you. And that includes sometimes things may be more important to your boss or to your spouse or to your children. That's still important to you. But work it out so that you can understand how to move forward, how to live your life according to your values, according to your integrity. And getting it done has a lot to do with integrity. You feel good about how you are living when you honor your word. You can get fulfillment out of executing the plan that you put in place. Procrastination ends up making you feel ashamed. We don't want shame, we want empowerment. We want to feel great about ourselves and we want to have the opportunity to grow. We can set ourselves up for success and growth by executing our plans. And so I invite you to practice that every day this week. What is it that you're going to accomplish today? What's the dream that you want to accomplish by the end of the year or in 100 days? Work on it every day. The things you have to accomplish today, the things that are the dream. Every day. Work on it, get it done, and you're going to feel so good about yourself. And that will give you energy to do more. I promise you, it works. Until next time, have a great day and make it count. Namaste.